Greetings, guitar engineers. I'm Desi Cerna, and in this free guitar lesson, I teach you how to play the main riff in Stevie Ray Vaughan's Cold Shot. I'm going to show you how to play it using the correct tone, timing, and technique. Let's dive in. All right, the first thing you need to know about Cold Shot is that it was recorded with guitars tuned down a half step to E flat. But in order to not irritate the majority of people watching this video who use standard tuning, I am not tuned down. If after learning the riff you want to play along with the original recording, you can tune down at that time. Next, Stevie Ray Vaughan recorded this song using a Stratocaster guitar with the pickup selector switch in position 1, 2, 3, 4, which engages the neck and middle pickups. Next, Stevie Ray Vaughan got his tone by playing through various Fender and Dumble amplifiers turned all the way up to create natural breakup. I'm using a dual profile of similar amps using the Kemper Profiler. Here's the basic amp tone. And here it is with reverb added. Then finally, to get that warbly effect that's a critical part of the Cold Shot sound, I add rotary effect. All right, now that we have the right tone, let's talk about timing. Cold Shot is played with a shuffle feel, which means instead of playing straight eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you shuffle them, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In a shuffle, the first eighth note is longer than the second. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long. A shuffle is actually based on triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You play on the first and third beats of each triplet. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. But in music, it's simpler to think of it as shuffled eighth notes and just count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, now let's talk about technique. The notes that you play are very simple, but it's how you play them that gets tricky. You alternate between the notes A and G on the fourth string at frets 7 and 5. But instead of picking only the fourth string, you strum down across all of the strings. This means you need to position your fingers so that you dampen everything except for the notes on the fourth string. When I place my ring finger on the A note on the fourth string, I use the tip of the finger to bump into the fifth string above it, and I lean my finger back to lightly touch the strings below. I also extend my middle finger to dampen the strings 5 and 6. Finally, I wrap my thumb around and it bumps into the sixth string to help out with the muting too. Then I strum across all the strings. You should practice strumming the strings with your fingers positioned in this manner. If you do it correctly, you'll hear only the A note on string 4, and you'll hear only scratching on the other strings. If this is new to you, it'll take some time to get used to, so be patient. Next, you need to get your fingers in place to play the G note in the same manner. In this case, I fret the G with my index finger, I use the tip of my finger to bump into the fifth string, and I lean the finger back to dampen the other strings. My thumb is still wrapped around to take care of muting string 6. Once you're in position, practice strumming across all of the strings and producing the right sound like this. Again, when you do it correctly, you're only going to hear the fretted note on string 4, and you'll hear only scratching on the other strings. Once you understand how to position your fingers correctly for each note, you can practice alternating between them. The next thing you need to do in order to produce the right sound is play the open strings on your upstrokes. To play the open strings on your upstrokes, you must lift all of your fingers off of the strings. Then you need to immediately put your fingers back into proper position to play the fretted notes. Once again, if this is new to you, it's going to take time to develop the right touch, so stick with it until you can do it correctly and consistently. Moving on, there are a few chord shapes needed to complete the riff. You play the top 3 strings at the 7th fret, and then at the 5th fret. You strum the 7th fret with a downstroke, and the 5th fret with an upstroke. And in this case, you're just strumming strings 1 through 3. You're not muting the other strings and raking across them. When I combine the chords with the fretted notes, it sounds like this. So that's A, upstroke, G, upstroke, A, upstroke, then strum down on the chord at the 7th fret, up on the chord at the 5th fret. Then you immediately repeat by playing A on the very next downstroke. So from the beginning and with the repeat. All right, so you can practice it like that initially, but you actually only play the riff like this twice. After playing it twice, you sustain the chord at the 5th fret, and it will take the place of the A note that's at the beginning of the riff, like this. When you play this second part of the riff correctly, you'll have a floating downstroke where you skip over the strings without strumming them because you're sustaining the chord. Watch my right hand. So after sustaining that chord, you have a ghost stroke, then you play the open strings with an upstroke, then you come down on G, and you continue with the riff. All right, so here it is from the top, 3 times with that A note at the beginning, then sustaining the chord. If you're playing along with the song, you begin sustaining the chord after the drums and the bass come in. In the original recording, Stevie Ray Vaughan begins with a few pickup notes. The pickup notes are played on beats and, 4, and. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. On those pickup notes, the ands are open strings with upstrokes, and beat 4 is a downstroke, and you just sound muted strings. So it's and, 4, and. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Let's do that again. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Then you immediately go into the riff. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So here's everything from the top with pickup notes. I play the A at the beginning 3 times, then I sustain the chord. 1, 2, 3. All right, now you know how to properly play the main riff in Stevie Ray Vaughan's Cold Shot. And who would have thought that so much goes into such a simple riff? The techniques that I have shown you here are a big part of Stevie Ray Vaughan's signature sound. If you found this video helpful, click like and leave me some positive feedback. If you have questions, post them in the comments below and I'll reply. Maybe this song is exactly what you should be working on right now. Or maybe you're getting ahead of yourself and you need to back up and fill some gaps in your playing. I can help you determine exactly what you should be working on so you can move forward with your playing and get to the next level. Go to my website, guitarmusictheory.com. Answer the questions I ask you about your playing, and I'll send you free custom video instruction calibrated to your current level. I'll help you determine exactly what you should be working on right now in order to best get your skills together. Enroll in your free course now at guitarmusictheory.com. You can click on the link in the video description. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Desi Cerna. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell to receive alerts when new videos are uploaded. Then keep playing and stay tuned for more.